Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Somebody give me a sound check. Let me know if you hear me okay. I'm going to share my screen. Screen two. Screen two, I can't tell. Screen three is a screen two. Share. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Hey, Crossy, again, Miguel. All right, let me, okay, let's look at this. So I put into the Dropbox, into the BK Tools box, in the combo trader, combo 1.6. It's called 16 because I don't want to put a 0 in front of it. So this is the 1.6 version, which is the latest alerts version. I'm going to download this and I'm going to install it into the MT4. The 5, we're working on the 5. We're working on the 5. The open data folder should be ready end of the day today for 5. So downloads 4. Control X, come back here, QL, indicators, Control V, refresh. Okay, refreshing. We had a trade, and you can see, let me see, Control I, let me kill this. Combo alerts, delete, close, combo. Okay. Combo alerts 16. Okay. You see, we had a trade here that that definitely worked. Ah, damn! I forgot to suppress this. Oh, it's so annoying. Okay, I forgot to suppress the. Shit! I thought I did this. Wait, what the fuck? This is correct. This is false. So enable. Why is reversal trader? Huh? That's weird. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. Sorry. It's the dip. It's a dip. Damn, I forgot to change this to orange. Okay. So I have a huge pop-up. Let's get long here, just while we're at it. We're going to get long at 5, just for argument's sake. I'm going to try and see if we can get 14, 13, 14 out of this thing. Let's see, we're 10. It's not quite our trade, but it's a huge breakout. So I thought maybe we might be able to get like 5 out of it. It's the trade was here, but we had a very strong dip trade here. So in at 5, trying to see if I can get this thing to come up to at least 13, 14. Let's see if that happens. I guess not. I'm not getting any juice here. Too big a chase trade. It was too big a chase trade. All right, so okay, we're out of it, out of the whole thing for like -3. Forget it. We had a little bit of a movement. It may, it may continue here, but it's not a clean, clear trade, so I don't really want to fool around with this thing. There's a huge pop here on the dip. So trend, big trend breakout off the open. This is a clean, clear signal that worked really well. The dip trade, kind of working now, right? But I don't want to fool around. It's way too extended, and it's not the kind of trade we like to do, because I'm going to show you where I think the dip trade makes sense. This is just a chase trade, and where you're really pressing it. So you're gonna kill me if this thing works, but it is what it is. It's just this is a big momentum trade. So the thing that I'm trying to do is the following. I'm trying to take the higher high trades, right? The higher high trades. So this was a trade that that cleared that I wouldn't have taken. even though it actually kind of could have worked over here. And the idea is that you only want to take sort of the best selection trade possible. In this case, for example, if you took this, so let's just kind of look at where the trading would have been today. Let's get big. It's hard to see. So first of all, I only want to take trades pretty much from like around 9, 10 o'clock GMT. So first trade, good, clean, straight up trade. You can see the big triangle, right? You see the big triangle. That's a higher high, buy point. You know, you're in like Flynn, you make money, all good. The next signal that shows up is another buy point, but this is where I get selective and careful. If I have 2 consecutive buy points in a row, that means two triangles like this. I only want to take the dip trade, not the signal, but a dip signal. There's no dip signal, so I pass it up. I get a negative signal here, so now I'm 2 for 2. Great negative signal, because remember, positive to negative in a true trade, true being marked by a triangle, great. Negative to positive, also great. 2 consecutive ones, then I want to wait for the dip. Okay, so fine, that that makes money. The next trade is not true. Doesn't have, it's a lower high. I pass up on it. And I'm actually, the idea that I have is that if I have a signal like this, I would only take the dip. In other words, if it comes back out of the moving average, then I have some confidence that this is a real trade to the upside, right? So fine. So that that I let go. Next trade is this, and we can talk about this, whether this is a winner or loss, depending on how you kind of structure it. But let's say this is a close 80 and it goes all the way down to 70, 73. Let's leave this one be. The next one is a clean clear up to down. This was a down. This is an up, clean clear trade. Another 10-point win. This one is a higher low, so not a trade here. Even though this would have worked, not a trade here, but you have a second chance on a dip. The dip works very, very well. Looks like our trade to the upside may actually make 13 here as we start moving. Yeah, it just dipped out a little bit. It consolidated, but may make 13, right? So that's like already 3 in a row. This one is a fail, just a pure straight up fail. There's no two ways about it, because this is a true lower signal. The only thing I would say is, again, because it's the second negative, right? Whether it's trailed by a true signal or a false signal, 2 negatives in a row, 2 positives in a row, the shift in strategy should be towards the dip. But even the dip doesn't really work here. If you took the dip here, you would have been stopped out. So let's just call that a false trade. Then we have a false sell where we wait for the dip. This dip works very well. So we have like 3 winners, 1 loser, effectively, for all intents and purposes. The next trade is a false buy, so we just pass that up. Okay, so it's a false buy, but you do have a dip. You could say, well, you could have taken a dip. But this is the opening rotation, which is where I really don't want to trade at all. Period. Right? It's just not a good time to trade. Period. So let's just say we give ourselves that half-hour grace between 9:30, 9 to 9:45. We just don't trade in any signals. The next signal, perfectly clean, straight up signal, which is what brings us to us. So if you were sort of discriminatory, you had like 4 winners, 1 loser in the overnight trade using the buy sells. Now, the second thing that kind of really struck me, and this is actually an idea that because I'm doing a lot more of these trades in FX now, that seems to be just jumping out, is that I don't know why. I'm still trying to figure out what the reason is. In currencies, it's pretty obvious why, but in FX, I don't understand why. The short signals are smaller, meaning that the continuation move on the short side is smaller than the continuation. Like to put that in simple words, I can make 5 points on the short side, but I cannot make 10 points with the same consistent extension as I will on the long side. The long side will extend for 10 points, 70% or 75% or better. The short side won't, but the short side will extend to 5 points. So one of the things that you may want to consider, the beauty of the strategy is, of course, we divide the short and the long sides, and we look at them differently. Is you may want to trade the short side of the equation at half volatility. So half target, half stop, meaning 10 stop, 5 target. I think it's pretty wise situation, pretty wise way of doing it. You're going to get, you're going to get less. You're obviously going to get less pippages, but you also get less drawdown. And the idea here, the ultimate idea here is to get that balance between target and stop that is net positive. It's got to be, so if what's happening on the short side is that the duration, the dip distance doesn't extend as much as the long side, then what you're trying to do is just simply catch as much of the short side as possible. So anyways, if you were to replay this the other way, remember one of these trades, first of all, the point being is that all the trades that were plus 10 were also plus 5. In other words, they didn't go more than 10 against you. This was a winner at 10.20 and a winner at 5.10. So the short trade to the downside worked fine. I don't have any more short trades here. The short trade here worked fine at 5.10, but didn't quite work at 10.20. This is where I said let's come back to that, right? So here the short trade works here. The other advantage of having a tighter stop is that because basically the short side to me is the weak side. And by the way, look, this finally goes to 13. So if I'd been patient on the move, the Nasdaq would have actually worked to the upside. If the short side is going to serve the weaker side, meaning that the probability of success and the duration of success is not as strong as it is to the long side bias, then cutting it volatility half and half just naturally puts you in a better space. Because you're going to lose. You may make less, but you're also going to lose less. It's not symmetrical; it's asymmetrical, and it puts the profitability onus on the long side, which is what makes most sense. Anyways, sorry. I mean, I got shaken out of this trade because it did a little bit of retrace, but it did finally extend. I don't know if anybody held for the long side, but I can't count it because we did come out of this thing flat. So that's sort of my thoughts on how this is working. Hang on, let me just I have to set this up. Save. Call this filter. Let's apply this to the Dow. See what's going on with the Dow. See if there's any setup opportunities for us here. Dow doesn't have anything. Oh, that's interesting. Why is this not showing me? Why is this? This is interesting. What's going on over here? 16. Why is this not showing me? I don't see any arrows. This should be a break. Oh, here's the arrow. I'm sorry, I can't see it. Okay, so the arrow is over here. Okay, tight little arrow. Okay. MT4 is just such a horrible little visual. The 5s are going to be much better. And then when we make it trend, we make a trading view, it's going to be much better. So like on the long, if you're trading long side, you trade 40-20 on a Dow, but on the short side, you could trade 10-20. I mean, this would have worked for both, but the point is that you wouldn't have, if you got short here at 43, you're looking for 33 as your target with a 63 top. You survive all of this, and it obviously goes down. So you have a chance here. Let's see what's going on over here on this thing. Oh, but that's not a true trade. See that? That is a higher low So therefore not giving me the triangle look, so I can't really sell this with conviction. That might work. So sort of whenever I don't have a strong conviction on the trend break signal, my secondary backup is a dip trade. Do I want to, I have to then be patient for a dip trade on this move. Let's see how this is trading. So boom, boom. DAX has got no looks whatsoever. Let's see what the euro is doing. Euro has a buy signal here, right, at the 18. So we could give this a shot for a it's a 5-minute candle, so it's 5:10. So 97 or 96 to 01 against 86 stop. See if it's worth a shot here. But it's a 5-minute chart, so I don't really, I don't love trading the 5-minute charts, but let's see what about cable. Cable had a clean sell signal from here. Now we have a dip signal in cable. The cable, you kind of have to always trade, I think, 10, 20. So if cable completes on a 5-minute chart, which would be like another 4 more minutes, it might be worthwhile to just take this trade to the downside. And yen. Yen doesn't have any signals here. So that is not giving me any signals right now. I'm going to be patient, see if I can get a dip out of it, and then then we'll take it from there. Euro looks like it's going to take the 5, so that the euro trade is working. So we'll take that. I'll take it 95. I was going to go 1, but we'll take it 99. It's fine. I'll take 3 or 4 points. It's a 5-minute chart. It's there's nothing much going on here. I think it actually might give us like 1 or 2, but it's fine. Yeah, here we go. So that was 9. Right there. That's 4 points on the euro, which is fine. Let's see how cable is doing. We have 3 more minutes for the 5-minute candle to close, so I'm gonna have to come back to that. And you see, it's not a guarantee that this isn't going to work, but what it is it's not a very, very confident trade that it is. You see how this is a small dip. It just barely moved down, came right back up, right? So the smart trade here is to be patient, let it come into the zone, and if it comes back out, then we might have a much better setup than we have right now. It generally looks like, NAS is definitely looking very bullish. All right, who's lost? Who's new here? Who doesn't understand what we're doing? How this whole thing works? If you don't speak up, then don't complain to me that you don't understand. Okay, because the whole function of me talking to you guys is that you guys ask questions. So if you don't ask questions, the basic assumption is you understand what I'm saying. So you have to ask me questions to explain. So I am going to wait patiently if you guys have any questions. In the meantime, I'm just waiting to see if the Dow's got to come in, come back out. We've got a long way to go for a possible setup. Where's the euro yen actually? Let's look at euro yen. So that's the euro yen's got no signals here whatsoever. Euro yen had a so this is, what is this, a 5-minute signal? So long here would have been 32, That actually would have made it 32 to 39 would have made the 5 points. It would have made like 5 points in the 50, and then it just dipped over to 25, which actually you would have still survived the 10-point dip and made the move. If you trade now, if you trade on a 5-minute chart, if you want to trade 5-10, it's fine. But this, but this is kind of an interesting. Peter's saying he's got a whole bunch of questions when he's a whole bunch smarter than this. Don't worry, there's no dumb questions. There's only dumb answers. I'm full of dumb answers. So what it's going to say is, the dichotomy. I still don't have a logical explanation for why the dichotomy between the short side and the long side. But regardless, I mean, the empirical evidence kind of showing the short side, as I said, extends mildly. The long side extends stronger, and I want to trade. So my point is, I want to trade half volatility on my short side, wherever I'm trading. We kind of, now we broke out to the upside on the NAS. The Dow is doing nothing, just kind of tripping around on the moves. The German is, as usual, asleep. It's interesting. So German has actually, sorry, let's take it back. So German has a quasi long signal. Yeah, you know how much I hate trading the German, but I mean, it's a legitimate signal to worth a shot. So let's say we're long here 96. Let's say we get long 96. The trade here would be 06 to the upside, 76 to the stop side. The German has just been look how tight it is. Look at the look at these one minute candles. They look so horrendous. But I don't even know if I think you could trade this just maybe for 5 points. And it just doesn't look like this thing extends much on any given time. So whatever, we're going to take the 96 trade because we do have a signal, and see if we could at minimum just make 01, 02 here on the move. But look how dead it is. It's literally not moving. All right, so we'll give that a shot, see where it's going. Okay, so this is interesting. So now, okay, Dow is obviously rejecting a weak sell signal, which is why we passed up on it, right? I mean, the whole point of what we're trying to do is trade selection. We're trying to be insurance companies. We're trying to avoid selling policies to fat, smoky, drug-addicted motorcycle riders, right? So I'm trying to just, sell insurance companies to people who never die, and that's what I'm looking for on the charts. Quality setups. So this is clearly not a quality setup. That's why we didn't take the trade, which just as well. Now, maybe if this thing starts turning red, closing through here, giving us a sell dip signal, we might have a reasonable chance here for a trade. What is the German doing? Is he doing anything? German's doing nothing. It's just hanging out. I hate this trade. I'm just going to get out of it. I have zero interest. I think I'm just going to. This is just not a scalping instrument, so forget the German. Let's see what and the Dow is turning, so we could just be turning completely to the upside. Let's give it a little bit more shot. So the euro dollar trade. I mean, Peter, to tell you what I do in real life versus what we try to do in scalping life. So in real life, I trade 15-minute charts, and the adjustment that I'm making now. So on the euro, on any of them, I trade on 15-minute charts, 40 stop, 20 target. But to the short side, I now shifted all my algos to 20 stop, 10 target. That's the 15-minute chart. But because we're now scalping around during live trading session, we go to the 5-minute chart. On the 5-minute chart, the best you can hope for is 5 pips, 10 pips. So you're trying to make 5 pips against a 10 pip move. That's all you're trying to get out of the whole thing, because that's currencies. They just don't really give you a lot of juice. So that's why I was like, euro, it's only good for 5, and it did turn out to be good exactly for that. It was good for about 5 points. Went to 0.1, which is fine. We just don't have any. Oh, let's go back to cable. Oh, so cable actually, yeah, that's interesting. I'm glad we didn't take this trade. So this was the true trade, right? So I guess sort of, again, let me clarify the structure. You already won on this. The whole idea is to win on the trend cycle, right? Let's just kind of like, that's really clarify what we're trying to do. Each one of these trend moves is a trend cycle. And your job is just to win once on a trend cycle or just avoid it completely. It doesn't matter that the trend cycle can go 55 million points in the direction. Doesn't matter that, that it lasts for 3 hours. We have to completely and totally forget that point, because that's not what our strategy is. Now, eventually we might be able to make it into a strategy that can try to milk the full trend cycle. But what we're trying to do is skim the absolute best cream off the top. So all we're trying to do is take one trade per trend cycle that has the highest probability. So in this case, it was obviously the short side over here, the trend break, that's it. If we don't have a trend break trade, or if the trend break trade is, let's say, preceded by another downward trend break trade, then we can consider the dip trade. But the dip trade now was just pressing the trade. So it's just idiotic for me to even consider that, to have done this trade. This is a trend cycle. We took out 5 points, we walk away, right? That's it. That's all we really need to think about when we are creating these ideas. Here's a trend cycle over here. You see this little triangle, right? We take our 5 points, walk away. All day long, the function of the combo scalp is to literally skim the best probability trades off whatever trend cycles that are given to us and avoid as many shitty trades as we possibly can. That's literally the strategy in a nutshell. That's what it's coming down to. That's what it's distilling to. That's what we're trying to do. Doesn't mean that's the only possibility for the strategy, but this is the possibility that we're trading. Does that make sense to everybody? Is that clear? And everything else is just noise that we need to clear out, because we need to have the clarity of vision, just a clarity of vision of what we're doing. And, without that clarity, we're always subject to bullshit trades, right? So that's kind of like really, I think, interesting and important for us to focus on. Where am I on this thing? The one cool thing I'll have for everybody, I've been promising this, but it's going to take a little while, is we're going to have the scanner, which is going to give us like a lot more ideas for the move, right? So here's a good example. This is what I mean about the short being half shelf, half volatility of the long. So this is pound kiwi, right? Already a notoriously volatile pair. You cannot trade, any of this. This is a pound kiwi. Oh, this is pound kiwi on an hourly chart. Anyways, I'm just curious. This is an hourly chart, but regardless, what you see here is, you see this, the short side. It extends, but it doesn't extend a lot, right? It doesn't extend. It doesn't give, the short side does not give you a lot of duration. The long side, also fails, but like even when it fails, it still extends. Like here, the extension on the was it 30, and then the high here is 51, at least 20 points. So trading this with a 2040, you still could have made it, to the long side on pound kiwi, which is not a pair that you really want to trade because it's so widely spread out. But just just a point that I'm trying to make. Let's see if we got here on the S&P. Just looking at the S&P for a sec. No. So what's interesting, here's the S&P, by the way. This is an interesting idea. So S&P does not have a clear buy signal, even though it turns out to be a good signal, right? So then we shift our focus to the dip. So the dip here is traded with a 6 stop 3 target. So we get long here at 78. 72 is our stop, and the low here is 75, and 81 is our target, and the target is met. So another good example of like, okay, did we win this trend slice? And we actually won this trend slice if we traded this properly, right? So it's kind of shit. Let's go to the Dow. Let's see what the Dow is doing. The Dow turn. Okay, Dow is turning into a positive trend slice, right? So now we got to see if we get a signal on the Dow and see if we can win this particular trend slice on the thing. Krasi, what do you yeah, everybody's connected to, everybody's good on Zoom, right? Cheryl, I think you're having some kind of connection problems. Even this is the second day in a row you're having problems. Everybody's good. Karen, you're good. Everybody can see the screen. You guys are all connected, right? So I think it's just Cheryl. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Dow, long 82, long 82. Stop is we should be trading 60, you know, a 40, 20, but let's keep it tight. Let's keep it 20, 10. So 82, 62 stop, 92 target. Let's see if this thing gives a little breathing. But I gotta feel like with the Dow, I always got to give myself more room because it's notorious for shifting around. All right, Dow, you know, give us a long here. Let's see how this trend slice works. Just curious to see what the German was. Ah, look at this. I had zero patience on the German. The German actually did go to the 05s. Okay. I just have like, it's such a slow instrument. I have a hard time trading it. How's the NAS? NAS is okay. Kind of hanging, getting a little tired here. Dow still just basically doing nothing. So we're holding 82s, trying to get 92s out of the Dow. It's holding steady. Euros through the 1900s, 1904, 05. That's interesting. Starting to move up a little bit. And this trade doesn't look like it's going anywhere. I'm gonna blow out of it at scratch at 82. It's probably gonna go higher, but you know, I'm a little bit out of sync with the market. I'm actually okay with a sync with the market today, but just a little bit out of sync in this particular hour because earlier today I had to do the MT4 course, so I really wasn't watching the market. So my kind of internal time clock is just not good. This is actually my work. I should probably stay in this trade, but you know, I have zero feel. I just have zero feel for this thing right now. I should stick to my strategy. I'm back in a trade. Let's just stay here at 82. Let's run it to its fruition. Let's see if we can get it 92 out of this thing. It's so slow. This is what I hate. When price action slows down like this, it completely messes me up. And this, by the way, this is what I keep, this is why I'm so focused on getting Daniel to organize this thing for me algorithmically, because the beautiful thing about trading the algo is it doesn't get bored, it doesn't care, it doesn't miss a trade, and it is just so much better a structure than me kind of freewheeling. I realized yesterday kind of a couple of interesting things. There are two very conflicting and diametrically opposed things you need to do when you're trading. You need to make as much of your trading as algo as possible on the serious trades. But at the same time, you need to have what I call a kill account, an account that you basically just kill for experimental trades for a whole bunch of reasons. One, because you kind of want to just feel the market rhythm, understand market structures, but also discover interesting patterns that you'll never be able to discover if you're letting the algo trade. But that's why you really need to segregate completely different trade mechanisms. One that's as programmatic as possible, and one that's just basically as freewheeling as possible, with different allocations and different structures. Because like I already made a million different mistakes on this particular trade because I'm getting swayed by the price, the price action here, which is kind of very, very boring, and frankly not conducive to it. I mean, it looks worse than it is because it's just basically going down 2 points up, 2 points down. But the point is, you've already like 10 minutes. When was the last time the Dow? This is the other thing that happens. This is why I hate trading proprietarily on my signals, because generally, right, the signal is supposed to work within 1 or 2 minutes, right? Generally, the Dow in the slowest time frame will go 30 points in 5 minutes. Like right now, we just happen to be in this incredibly ridiculous range of 3 points over the last 10 minutes, which almost never happens in the Dow, but of course happens right at a time when you're trading and you're completely, now you're just discombobulated by this ridiculously tight range in the price action. So, just my point is that the less you trade your setup, the more you trade your setup programmatically, the better it is. Other than that, nothing much going on over here. It's just very, very quiet, guys. I got nothing going on here. It's literally so boring. Like the whole big move happened, and now we just go, we kind of die. Oh, Dow is finally moving my way. All right. Oh my God, Jesus. Still slow as all hell. Just like this, and it's so unusual. I mean, look at this. It's a 75 to 85 trade. This should be like a 30-40 point move during this time of the market, and it's just like nobody's moving prices. It's kind of like they all went to sleep and just died. Yeah. You know what? All right, screw it. I'm gonna kill this trade and scratch again. If it works, it works. It doesn't work, it doesn't work. I don't have the mental energy to deal with it. because it's just it's clearly, you know, look at this moves over here. Look at these moves over here. Look at this. This is like 2 a.m. New York time kind of action, and we're at 10:30 New York. And so I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to walk away. If I had my algo in here, it wouldn't care. It would be sitting here for 10 hours and just holding it, and probably going to do okay. But like, I'm just going to scratch it out today because I have no vibes. Yeah, maybe waiting for FOMC minutes, but you know, FOMC minutes are not coming out till 2. I mean, that's it's total bullshit. You know, this is just you know, we ran into a liquidity sand trap. It's basically literally a liquidity sand trap. And always, by the way, whenever I give up on something, is usually when it starts to really run. Which is another reason why it's so much better to have the algo run it than you run it. You know, like I'm looking at my currencies, which are all run on the algos, and it's just so much more of a smoother experience. Although on the currency, I will say this really interesting dichotomy where the longs have made about 450 pips over the last week, but the shorts are down 220 pips because I was using the same risk-reward ratios. Now I'm starting to tighten up my risk-reward ratios on the shorts, and let's see if that actually is going to have a you know, a better impact. And by the way, there we go. See, I should have just not been looking at the screen. So those of you who had the patience, maybe Karen had the patience to just hang into this miserable trade. This finally gives us 10 points. Anybody take this trade? Anybody take this trade? For a while. Miguel, see, good for you. What a miserable son of a bitch trade this was. All right, Connie took 4. I'm glad everybody has better patience than me. Cheryl's still in there. See, women have patience. Karen, you trade like a guy, I guess, huh? Good job for Cheryl. Cheryl, I take it over here because this is it's a pretty good run already. If you're in at the 82s, it's like 97s. Just take this move. But again, the point being is that the signal was super, right? Signal was good. Just took a long time to consolidate. I had zero patience on this trade, you know, those of you who have better patience did better. But the signal was beautiful. Just nice, clean, straight up signal, and definitely, you know, that again, the trend slice won, right? So if I am going to just measure myself by how many trend slices I win, and that, by the way, is probably the right. Remember, I talked to you about like creating the whole dashboard. I think that's probably the right metric for us to measure, which is it just came to me. I think this is our 3 metrics. Did I take the trade that was given, right? Did I take the trade that was given? I mean, meaning that did I take the setup, and you know, did I take it in the risk reward proportio? Did I you know, all that kind of stuff? Was it, yeah? Did I do the execution properly, just the basic execution properly? Then did I win the trend slice? And then how many points did I make? Like, that's the 3 layers of the dashboard that you keep track of as you keep going. And that's probably the right thing for us to do. I think that's exactly what we're going to do, because that defines the strategy in its most precise and pristine self. It's only taken me, what, 6.5 months to figure out what the fuck the strategy is, but you know, you guys have all been with me here forever, so it's good. Good job. Peter is up 55. He took 3 on the euro. Good for you. So enjoy the indicator. It's the combo alert 16, right? That is, I think, the final build. I'm going to have the 5, which I can't wait to get the 5 because I really, the 5's got such nice visuals. And then eventually we're going to have the trading view. Good job. Karen is up 75 today. Everybody's doing great. Everybody's doing super well. Good for you guys. You know, I am up, I think, a big bagel today, right? In my, what did I do? I literally, like, you know, I think I'm up 3 points on my euro. That was my one big trade today. Everything else was just me dicking around, literally, you know, stopping myself out at break even 3 times in a row. But anyways, I'm glad you guys, it's much more important that you guys did well. My whole point here is I got to give guidance that makes sense. And the guidance is really good. So the indicator is, as I said, almost at its full build. The rules are really, really coming in very clean, which is we're trying to win the trend slice. If we can't get the immediate signal, then we try to get a secondary signal. If we can't get a secondary signal, we just leave it the fuck out, stay out of the trade. And we try to avoid adverse selection as much as possible. We can do all those things. We have a tremendously powerful strategy, as everybody's, you know, been, you know, trading it with me forever. But at this point, it's really well defined. Like, there's just, I don't think we've exhausted all the definitional ideas here. The only thing to do is to just let the strategy run, let the thing go, right? By the way, look at a German. Also, this is another thing. Like, this is where the algo is so much more patient, right? I was completely non-patient with the German. The German actually ran for 10 points over a period of about half an hour afterwards, off of this signal, right? This was a good signal, retraced against us a little bit, and then just, you know, gathered up steam and came back, which is, again, such a common signature in all these trend breakouts. It's move, you know, 1 step forward, 3 steps backward as everybody kind of consolidates, and then we take a secondary big push. And you got to just be patient enough for that secondary big push to take you to profit. So, so all good, guys. I'm going to let you guys go a little bit early today because I got to get into the city. But I'm glad everybody's doing well here on the trade side. Keep an eye on the next, you know, couple of trend slices for the rest of the day. That's what we're trying to do. And that's it. Everybody have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys tomorrow.